Ah, Your Excellency. The Enlightened must have sent you. I would like to ask a favor of you.
I'm listening.
As you may be aware, we suspected this island might be the one St. Lucius wrote about.
Is that so?
We did, but let me explain. This island was where St. Matthias lived at the end of his life, and where he founded a perfect community. Some time ago, we created a village which we called Eden, following his example. We chose this place as it seemed to be the closest to the one described in the Holy Scriptures. It is a home to a community of converted islanders, accompanied and guided in their budding faith by our theologians. As you can imagine, it is of the utmost importance to us. All the more so because we discovered some tablets there, which were engraved by our founder.
An extraordinary discovery that confirms your suspicions.
I see you understand. Alas, these tablets were stolen, probably by the islanders who still reject our influence. I know that you are generally well accepted by the natives. That is why I was hoping that you could help us to retrieve what belongs to us.
I suppose I could go to Eden and try to retrieve them.
Marvelous. The leader of the community, Father Justinius, will be able to answer your questions. May the Enlightened assist you in this holy quest, Your Excellency.
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. Desade. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the Enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence. Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on St. Matthias is conducted.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas. I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us. Or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matthias later. But first, we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to. But I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
I imagine that someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village has been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings, and then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of Saint Matthias. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful. Thank you. I will let you work. Do you have any ideas about who stole the tablet?
Some of the village savages helped us during the search. Perhaps they are behind all of this. There was a particular woman who seemed to want us to be there. I don't remember her name, though.
If you are saying that these tablets bear writings from the very hand of our holy founder, then we must find them. Without them, all our research to trace the life of Saint Matthias on this island is doomed to failure. If these savages have stolen them, we will have to take them back, by force if necessary.
Greetings. Desarde. I'm handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really. What I can tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Well, Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit. All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money we could make out of them.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here, and the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there. And why does it matter, anyway? There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove Saint Matthias lived here. Our actions on this island are justified. To keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things. Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village. I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues, so we could give them a fresh outlook on things. We arrived straight from Ptolemy, hoping to study some new texts. But once we were here, I understood that my real mission was with the islanders. We must bring the light to this island.
You talked about a mission with the natives. What did you mean by that?
I may be under the command of Sister Eugenia here, but my superior is Bishop Domitius. Our mission is to banish pagan cults and convert the entire population to the light. The island belongs to Saint Matthias, and therefore to Ptolemy, since the god of light offered it to our founder.
You have a very unique way of seeing things. I doubt everyone accepts it. How are your relations with the natives?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain information from them about Saint Matthias, but they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate them. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react badly. Most stubborn against our teachings, the warriors, and the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi. They eventually left, and it has proved nothing but a blessing for us. I would like to go back to work now, if you don't mind.
Of course. I will leave you to your work. Goodbye. Father.
I'm glad to see you, my child. What can I do for you?
Tell me about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vigsanegad, which translates to the village of the old sage. We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matthias, and everything here fit the description of Saint Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So, we decided to rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
Why share this village with the natives?
To replicate and resume the work of our founder, of course. If he came here and managed to convert the natives, then it is our duty to do the same thing. By living side by side with them, it is much easier for us to pass on our teachings.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially since those who opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matthias. That helped to convince them.
And how well have neighboring villagers welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfectly honest. So, we sent them missionaries. There are still frequent conflicts with the village of Vedlug, a highly violent village of heretics. But the other villages, the more peaceful ones, are slowly starting to listen to the sacred word.
There is something strange here.
It often takes time for the people of the continent to get used to our paradise, but I am sure you will come to appreciate it.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
There's only one entrance, and the door shows no evidence of a break-in.
Brother Virgil can't have cared less about these relics. He must have fallen asleep on duty. And then, someone must have just stolen the keys from him.
It's very likely that that's what happened. But someone must have informed them. It can't be a coincidence that they decided to steal it during the watch of the only neglectful guard.
So, we have to find their accomplice, the one that informed them, and who must be in the village.
We know that this theft could be an act of vengeance by the natives who were forced to leave here. They must still have allies in the village. Family or friends. We should go talk to the chief of the natives. He will certainly know who's close to the exiles, and enough about the researchers to inform them.
Hello. I am Lair, the village leader. Well, I was the leader of this village.
Hello. De Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onol Manawi among the Logead Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I have heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have the answers to all of your questions, but I'll try.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Thélème and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd and all these things. One morning they were building houses next to ours. And we had new neighbors.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent, and they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matthäus, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. I asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug. Perhaps they have done so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course, and the Vorstyrent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men, perhaps wiser than they are.
I think I know who stole the tablets.
Really?
I believe those who were exiled from your village seek vengeance because the missionaries forced them to leave. They must have taken the tablets with the help of someone else who stayed here.
You may be right, but you may also be wrong.
You do well to tell me what you know. Once the priests have reached the same conclusions as I have, how do you think they will interrogate you?
You're probably right. The Inquisitors would come back, and my people would suffer. I do not want to break the peace that I did all I could to make. I think the name of the woman you are looking for is Vindwal. She helps the priests who seek the old sage.
If she's helping the priests, why would she betray them now?
Her son is one of the warriors who had to leave the village. He is filled with anger and fury. If you go talk to her, please, do not hurt her. She is but a mother who acted according to her son's wishes.
I have no intention of hurting her. But things may not be so simple when it comes to her son. I have to go.
Like so many others.
I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told. But I must admit that despite these few alterations to history, the result is astonishing. Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur. Greetings. Are you Vindwal?
Bertia Tumad. Yes, that is me. What do you want?
What can you tell me about Lair, your former leader?
He is a man of peace. Some people dislike him, not me. Everything he did to save the village. But I think the mind shakers made him forget what we are. He almost speaks like them now.
Listen, I know you helped the exiles to steal the tablets of St. Matthias.
No, this is not true. It wasn't me.
There's no point in denying it. I know you did it for your son who had to leave the village.
If you know that, then you know that I don't have the tablets. So what do you want from me?
The only means of alleviating the situation with Thélème is to give the priests their tablets back. So if you do not want your son to suffer their wrath, it would be best if I could retrieve them discreetly.
Bran and the rest of the exiles are hiding in the woods, beyond the stone circle. If you want to take the tablets away from them without being seen, do not take the path on the left. It is riddled with traps. And please, do not hurt my son.
Here's the place that Vindwal indicated. The exiles must be near. Don't worry, we'll be discreet. And if I remember correctly, we should avoid the path on the left.
Do it! What are you doing here?
I'm not here to fight you, but I must retrieve the tablets of St. Matthias.
What? How do you know we have them? And how? Not Freddy. We will not give them back! We lost our homes and families, so the priests lose their sacred stones.
I know that you are seeking vengeance, but the priests will not be the only ones to suffer the consequences of your actions. Your mother helped you, and once they find out about it, she will pay the price in your place. Is that what you want?
They will not suspect her. She's helping them in their research. And even if they found out, they wouldn't hurt her. You are wasting your time.
Perhaps I could do something for you in exchange for the tablets.
You are a Renaigse. You cannot help us.
I am also an Onol Manawi. So?
We want to join the Sengeden Anadas, Deirdre's clan. But she only accepts warriors, and not all of us are warriors. Give us a family and a home, and we will give you back the priest's stones.
Very well. I will go see her. I hope that we manage to convince Deirdre.
Especially considering she isn't exactly known for her friendship towards strangers.
What do you seek?
I come on behalf of the exiles of Vik-Sonegad. They'd like to join your clan.
Some already have done. The others should just do like them and undergo the trials of the warriors.
But not all of them are warriors.
We're about to go to war. Those who do not know how to fight have no place amongst the Sengeden Anadas.
I implore you to reconsider, Deirdre. Though they may not all be fighters, these people will know how to make themselves useful in your village.
Very well. You have helped us, and I trust in your judgment. You can tell the exiles that I'm waiting for them. Anything more?
I need to know more about your clan.
I have already told you a great deal. You know that we are the Sengeden Anidas, the warriors of the storm, that we always get back up stronger than before, even in defeat. You also know that our Donegad prepares the dyes which make my warriors so powerful. What more do you want me to tell you? We are the protectors of Tir Fradi, and we take this role very seriously. It is the only thing that matters.
I suppose there would be no point in asking you what you think of the settlers.
Don't ask questions that you don't want to hear the answer to. The men of the distant island came here to take, without ever giving anything back. They are demonisinaik, parasites. They feed on our very life source. The lions are the worst of them all. But the others are probably just as bad, only more deceitful.
Tell me about your village.
It is Vedlug, the Woods of Lightning. I believe you already know the story behind that name. I like this symbol. What was struck by lightning and burned is brought back to life, more luxuriant than ever. It fits my people and their story. A story of terrible storms and rebirths.
I need to be going. I'm glad I managed to convince her. Now we'll be able to retrieve the tablets, and the exiles will have a clan once more.
So, what did Deirdre say?
She accepted to welcome you all into her clan.
I did not think that you'd manage to convince her. You can take the tablets.
Thank you. I hope that you'll be happy in your new family.
Ad Loredar. And you were right. You are more on Olmanawi than Renaigse.
What are you doing here?
I was worried for my son. I wanted to make sure that everything was fine.
Yes, everything is fine. He has joined the Sengeden Anidas, and he gave me the tablets.
Really? What about the others? Those who are not fighters? I thought that Deirdre did not want them.
I managed to convince her to accept all of the exiles.
I thank you for helping them. It is reassuring to hear that they are in a new clan.
I retrieved your relics.
Thank you. Thank you immensely. Thanks to them, we will be able to continue our research on St. Matthias.
I am curious to know who is responsible for this theft. The culprit must be brought to justice.
I do not want to point the finger at anyone. You have your relics back, and that's the only thing that matters.
Your indulgence honors you. But how can we be certain that these thieves will not strike again if they are not punished?
In any case, you would do well to keep a better watch on your discoveries in the future. You should also pay more attention to those who share this village with you. This theft would never have happened had you truly been in harmony with the natives.
But that is precisely what we desire more than anything. We may have been a bit clumsy in the beginning, but we'll make sure to improve things in the future. You really were a great help. I would be most grateful if you agreed to continue helping us.
I might come back at some point, but alas, I am very busy.
Naturally. Either way, we are certainly capable of continuing our research without you.
Actually, I must go back to my work. Our next expedition must depart as soon as possible.
Your next expedition?
Our brave researchers must continue to follow the tracks of our founder on this island. In the meantime, here, take this as a token of gratitude for the help you gave us.
Thank you. I hope your expedition will be a success.
Oh, there you are, Your Excellency. The Enlightened has heard my prayers.
What's going on? Where are the others?
After deciphering the content of the tablets, they went north to continue their research in some swamps. But they must have encountered problems. Brother Fidelis came back here and he was in a dreadful state. He most likely came to seek help, but he fainted. It's impossible for us to know what happened to them.
I am not a doctor, but I may be able to examine him.
Oh, please do. Any help would be appreciated. We've done our best, but our magic has proved inefficient. And the healer we sent for will certainly arrive too late from San Mateus.
This man is burning up with fever, and he bears several bite marks and traces of blows. The flesh is swollen around the bites. Perhaps the creature that bit him was venomous. Have you tried giving him any antipoison?
Of course, but to no avail. And what if it were a hex cast by the heretics?
No matter what happens, you always suspect them. This man was in the swamp. We know it's home to many creatures that we have a poor knowledge of. But local healers will certainly know which antidote to use. We could ask Lair. He will direct us to someone who understands remedies.
Onol Manawi, you've come back to see old Lair. I heard that you managed to retrieve the tablets.
Did Vindwal tell you?
Yes, and I feel more at peace, knowing that our brothers are alive, and that they will be able to join another clan. And you proved me right. Peace with the Renaigse is possible.
I need your advice. You may already know that one of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition.
I heard about it.
He has all the symptoms of a poisoning, but the anti-poisons we gave him had no effect. He must have been bitten by a creature of the swamp, and we're looking for a healer who would know of a suitable antidote.
So, you came to see me. Interesting. Our neighbors did not think for one moment that we could be helpful. Alas, our Donegad is one of the exiles. But Vindwal knows plants well. She will know.
Thank you. I will go see her. I hope she agrees to help us. I have to go.
Like so many others.
Here you are again. What do you want?
I have come to ask for your help. Lair told me you know about remedies.
I do know a few of them. I have learned about plants. I used to want to become a Donegad.
One of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition. Apparently he was bitten by a creature of the swamp.
And now he has the Llewellyn fever. We have a good knowledge about this affliction. He will die if he does not receive proper treatment.
Do you know which antidote should be given to him?
Yes. These priests are idiots. They could have asked for our help, but they treat us like children. You are different. And you have allowed my son to join a new clan. So, I will give you the potion to cure the priest. Wait a moment. Make him drink this remedy and he'll get better.
Thank you, Vindwal.
Where am I?
You're in Eden. You are safe.
Was I unconscious for a long time? The other members of the expedition, they are in danger. The swamp is so hostile. We weren't prepared for it. Some of our people have disappeared.
What caused these wounds?
A nightmarish creature. The swamp is full of them. A colleague and I had left to fetch some help when we were attacked. I managed to run away, but I don't know what happened to him. As for those who were at the camp, you must go help them.
Show me the location of your colleagues on the map. I will join them.
There. Please, hurry.
Thank you. You should rest now.
All I did was bring you to the place suggested by the tablets.
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, I'm so happy to see you. You arrived right on time to settle this matter.
How did you manage to find us in the middle of this swamp?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Orbricus, who was accompanying him?
He must be dead, like our other companions. This is all your fault. This is yet more proof that you are not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me what's happening here.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for common sense. We are not equipped to explore this type of place. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified writings.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why he is being so disingenuous. We have made incredible discoveries, and we could find more.
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another second talking to you. If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have to be without her.
How charming.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that scene. My relations with Virgil have always been difficult, but ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable. I'm afraid we may need an arbiter.
Before anything else, I need to know what has led to this situation between you.
What would you like to know?
For what reason were you quarreling?
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was always against it, especially under my supervision. For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he wanted. The rest did not matter. According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new tablets, it became even worse.
Were they also written by Saint Matthias?
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. There are also some patterns, some islander symbols. It's fascinating. But what really angers Virgil is the content we managed to decipher. Our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders. Something our brother cannot accept. He now persists in saying that these tablets are fake, forged by the natives themselves.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members of the expedition have disappeared.
Yes, that's why he left along with Father Orbricus to fetch some help. 3 more of our colleagues are missing. And I'm not even talking about the ones who fell ill. I must admit that I underestimated the hardships we would encounter. I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly. But Virgil's being disingenuous does not help.
And no one has searched for those who are missing.
I wanted us to search for them, but someone later convinced me that it presented too much of a risk. Along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing number, and creatures swarming the area.
And by someone, I suppose you mean Brother Virgil.
Indeed.
I'm thankful for these pieces of information. But you understand that I will also have to talk to Brother Virgil.
Of course, that's understandable. You must hear us both before you can make a decision.
Brother Virgil.
What do you want?
Can you explain to me what caused such a quarrel?
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia's folly. This woman should never have been the supervisor of our team. The discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but no. She didn't want to stop the research. She organized this expedition in a hurry, without taking elementary precautions, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets without doubting them for even 1 second.
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, allegedly written by Saint Matthias, but their content is so absurd that they were obviously forged. I am certain that the natives must have found these stones before us and modified their content.
How would they have done that? The natives cannot write.
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler. How would I know?
Brother Fidelis told me that some of your colleagues went missing. Do you know anything about this?
They did not go missing. They were killed. It was the wild beasts, the diseases, and let's not forget the savages. We can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night. I am certain that they are responsible for the death of our colleagues.
That's strange. There aren't many villages around here. We've been in this region before, and the only native we met was a little insane, but would have been incapable of killing several priests.
Those savages may very well have been following us since our departure. We will not be safe on this island until it is entirely converted.
I see. So, you haven't tried to find your colleagues?
So we can die as well? I am not as crazy as Sister Eugenia.
I cannot take sides in your quarrel for now. And in any case, it is not what matters the most. Even if you think they are dead, we have to try finding your colleagues.
Well, if you are prepared to take such a risk, I can only commend you for your bravery and wish you luck. But I would not get my hopes up. You should start by searching the excavation site. To get there, take the path south of here. But be careful. The creatures that roam the area are ruthless.
This man's death was no accident, nor was it linked to any predator attack. It was caused by a violent strike to the back of the skull with a mace, and it didn't take place here. The marks surrounding the body show that it was moved, most likely to make it seem like he fell to his death. This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight. Could he have fallen?
I doubt it. Look. Judging by the location of this wound, it looks like someone gave him a strong blow to the head. A cheap shot from behind.
The body of this man was devoured by beasts, but it happened after he died. One of the wounds is clearly a knife wound. But alas, it is impossible to know who was wielding it.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
The cause of death is no mystery. This man was attacked by one of those large reptiles, a Llewellyn, and yet these iridescent marks on his skin make me think that a stasis spell was cast on him first. He was intentionally immobilized so that he would fall prey to this animal. It seems obvious now that these disappearances were orchestrated.
With what we learned, the culpability of a priest is almost obvious. And Virgil being disingenuous suddenly appears in a very different light, don't you think?
Indeed. I think that we should go find this brother and ask for an explanation. Brother Virgil.
Your Excellency! Weren't you supposed to be looking for our colleagues?
Indeed. I regret to say that they are indeed all dead.
I knew it. What a waste. Eugenia and her recklessness are to blame for this.
I'm afraid someone else is responsible for this. These deaths are not accidental, and yet they were disguised as such.
The savages! Their thirst for blood is unquenchable. I knew we should never have come without an escort.
You know very well that the natives have nothing to do with this. They would have had no reason to disguise their attack.
Who else could it be?
Someone who desperately wanted this expedition to fail. Does that remind you of anyone?
Fine. You unmasked me. But know that my cause is righteous. The Ordo Luminis sent me to keep an eye on this expedition, to ensure that the discoveries we made would not jeopardize our nation or our presence on this island. But the inscriptions on the tablets are a heresy, a dangerous manipulation. Can you imagine what would happen if it was said that our founder listened to the teachings of the natives? But even then, foolish Eugenia accepted these discoveries as truth, without any hesitation, without realizing that our entire nation could suffer because of it. So yes, I wanted to scare her.
I understand that you might want to protect your nation, but to go as far as assassinating several of your colleagues...
Come now. What would you do if someone were threatening the congregation? You cannot make me believe that you would not be willing to kill. You may have already done so. But since you want to avoid using violence, help me convince Eugenia to go back to Eden. My colleagues and I know how to sort through these discoveries. And you will be rewarded, of course.
Sorry, Brother Virgil, but I cannot accept. You will take your belongings and leave this place. The research will continue, and their discoveries will be studied by wiser people than you. The decision to reveal them or not will be theirs.
I see. My colleagues and I will go back to Eden. I hope that you don't regret your decision.
Alas, I have found the dead bodies of your colleagues.
How horrible! But how? Oh, perhaps I should have listened to Brother Virgil.
I doubt it. Brother Virgil is responsible for these deaths. He was hoping to blame the natives for them and discredit you.
What? But why would he? He will have to answer for his crimes.
As I do not have the authority to arrest him, I sent him back to Eden. If you want him to face judgment, you will have to report what happened to the Mother Cardinal.
You are right. As soon as we get back to civilization, I will make sure that she hears about it. Once more, your help has been a blessing. Take this. Alas, we will have to go back to Eden as well. There are too few of us to continue the research.
Were you hoping to discover more?
Of course. This place was but a single step in St. Matthias's journey. The last tablets speak of a journey northbound, further up in the swamp. But even if Virgil is no longer a threat, we are not sufficiently well equipped to go there.
We could go there for you if you wish. You just have to tell us where to look.
That would be marvelous. Of course, you would have to start from the excavation site where he wrote this. I think I noticed a path going north when I was there, actually. Look for any traces of life. Perhaps you will be lucky enough to find more of his writings. That would be fantastic.
Don't worry. I will conduct this research and come find you here if I uncover anything.
A cavern! If I were an old hermit, this is probably where I'd have settled.
Some people have lived, but they will have to look further and find traces of the sun. Yes, bit of poison on my brain. And poison on my blade. And let's go! Some murals and knickknacks. This could be the place where the saint settled.
Let's take a closer look at these paintings. We may learn something from them. This mural is very ancient. It depicts an old man dressed as a priest, getting his face painted by a masked native. This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matthias, praying to Enon Milfrichteman. It looks like a chaplet made of pewter. It's rather basic, but it was made a long time ago. And it undeniably comes from the continent. I seem to recall that Saint Matthias is almost always depicted using a similar rosary. Engraved tablets. They resemble the ones we recovered in Eden. We should take them with us. The researchers would be delighted to study them. There are some native symbols here and some letters I recognize, as if someone had tried to write in the native language using our alphabet. Men dwistad en on mil fruktemen. This is incredible. Saint Matthias would have known about the spirit of the island and would have prayed to him. I do not know these glyphs, but these spirals are native symbols. There are some words in our ancient language next to them. The light and the earth are the two faces of a same power. It's impossible to know if this is a translation or another sentence. But this is a message that would seriously displease the Inquisitors. I wonder what I should do with these relics. Eugenia probably didn't imagine that Saint Matthias lived his life in a way that's so different from what they advocate. As for Virgil, he wasn't wrong. Such a revelation will certainly cause a schism in Ptolemy.
To think these old things could cause a civil war. Or long-lasting peace with the natives. It is a serious responsibility to decide what to do with them. But it isn't ours. Their saint, their decision.
I already took sides in their quarrel. If I change my mind, I'm afraid that it might be seen as treason. I'll think about it on the way there. Let's go back to the researchers' camp.
So, did you find anything? Or do you need my help?
We discovered a cave that was inhabited a long time ago by a whole group of people, mostly natives, who had obviously created a sacred site, as the place was guarded by a creature.
And have you found traces of our holy founder? New relics? Perhaps some tablets?
There were also frescoes on the site, representing Saint Matthias.
Frescoes? Tell me more. This is fascinating.
He was shown having his face painted by a native. On another, he prayed to the god of the mountain.
You can't be serious. You mean to say that our saint converted to the cult of the islanders?
That is what emerges from our findings, yes. Other objects that I was able to bring back also point in this direction. Look, there are inscriptions. These tablets and also this chaplet.
This chaplet? I cannot believe it. It is so... Excuse me. I cannot find the words to express how I feel. You must come with me. We must go and present all these discoveries to the Mother Cardinal. You realize our entire dogma will have to change. So far, anyone who wanted to question it would have burned their fingers. Literally, alas.
And you think that this time they'll listen?
We have solid proof. All this evidence. With your support, we will convince her to reveal the truth.
I see. I will do my best to help you.
It seems we are arriving right on time. You did well to warn us, Brother Virgil.
Virgil? How did you know?
I'm afraid that Your Excellency's lies weren't very convincing.
We were informed of your discoveries and of the danger they represent. We demand that you hand them over to us immediately, so that they can be destroyed.
How can you even suggest the destruction of relics written by the hand of our founder?
Out of love for our dogma, for our faith, and for our nation. But since you refuse to comply with our orders, you leave us no choice.
Death to the heretics!
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
I cannot believe that I just fought my own brothers in faith. The fact that the Inquisition is after us is very disturbing, Excellency.
We would do well to hasten to San Matthias. They will not dare to attack you there. And we will have to take care of Bishop Domitius. He will do everything he can to discredit us.
You are right. All this proves is that I will not succeed without your help. There is a risk that the Mother Cardinal will also reject our discoveries.
And if you will allow me to attend the hearing, I would be delighted to support you.
Your help will be precious to us, Father. In any case, we must present our research to Mother Cardinal as soon as possible. I will study the tablets one last time to make sure I know all their content. And I will meet you at the palace in San Matthias to plead our case.
Understood. See you soon, Sister Eugenia. Be careful.
Ah, Your Excellency. We were eagerly awaiting your arrival. Sister Eugenia was just recounting me the tale of your achievements and telling me about the incredible discoveries you've made.
These relics shed a new light on the last years of our founder. It all demonstrates that he hadn't evangelized the islanders, but, on the contrary, he would even have adopted some of their rituals, merging the cult of the enlightened and the cult of nature in a single dogma.
These discoveries, if they can be verified, are extraordinary. But they also represent a great upheaval that could harm our nation. We must first verify their authenticity. You are the only ones who entered this cave. Could what you have witnessed been a falsification?
We discovered ancient frescoes on the walls of the cave. They represent Saint Matthias without a doubt. He's depicted with his chaplet. In one, he is praying for the divinity of the island. In the other, his face was being painted by a native. I understand how shocking these discoveries are, but their antiquity proves that they are genuine.
The tablets found at the site, however, attest that our founder had not abandoned the cult of the enlightened. He simply saw it as two different reflections of the same divine power.
The entrance to the cave was protected by one of those giant creatures that the natives call a nardaig. These guardians usually protect sacred places and let no one enter without a fight. I had to kill this beast, which leads me to think that nobody had entered the cave for a very long time. The cavern we discovered is located in a very remote place. There's no island or village nearby. It contains some ruined dwellings, but clearly no one has lived there for a very long time. Fraudsters would inevitably have left traces of their passage, and we have not found any.
The relics could be authentic, Your Excellency, but we only have your word to convince us. The political and religious impact of these discoveries will be unprecedented. We risk schism, civil war, and who is to say that this is not a plan to weaken us?
It seems that you only see the negative aspects of this discovery. But the reality is very different. By integrating some of the natives' beliefs into your dogma, you could build an alliance with them. Something no other nation has managed to achieve before.
It is a good argument, Your Excellency. I hadn't thought about that.
Your Eminence, all of this is grotesque and dangerous. The congregation is clearly trying to ridicule us. Even if these frescoes are real and old, who's to say they represent reality? This is surely the naive vision that the islanders had of our founder, nothing more. Our duty is to bury all this in order to preserve our nation from the heretical beliefs of the savages.
And you have already tried to do that. Brother Virgil, who worked for you, did not hesitate to attack us and kill several of his colleagues for this purpose.
That's right. And he even tried to blame me to stop me from leading the expedition.
What kind of manipulations and extremes are you willing to go to hide the truth?
Brother Virgil was indeed a member of the Order, but he had obviously descended into madness. This is exactly the kind of effect that such revelations can have, and of which we must be wary.
That's enough, Domitius. An investigation will be launched, and if you were aware of these sabotages, you will answer for it.
Your Eminence, we are faced with a crucial choice for our nation. What does a man of faith do in such a dilemma? He prays and places his trust in the one who came before him and has shown more wisdom. Saint Matthias shows us a new way. If we are believers, can we really turn our backs on him?
You surprise me, Petrus. You who are always so political, yet your words seem sincere. You give me something to think about. Thank you. Does anyone wish to add anything?
I understand your doubts about the future, which are inevitably caused by such a revelation. You hesitate just as St. Lucius did to tell us about the journey of his master. Yet in the end, he revealed what he knew, and his words still guide ЛЕТНЕЕ today.
Thank you for your testimony. I will now retire to think about everything and make my decision. After careful consideration, I have decided that it is my duty to reveal your discoveries to the world. It will take years for our theologians to study all of this, but our dogma must follow the path opened by Saint Matthias.
Thank you, Your Eminence. I would be delighted to help with the study of these relics.
I don't doubt it, my dear. And I would like you to take me to see this cave. I look forward to worshipping at the place where our holy founder ended his days. As for you, Your Excellency, I thank you for the help you have given us. Your sincere insight has encouraged me to make this difficult decision.
It was my pleasure.
Let me also thank you, Your Excellency. Without you, we would still be in the shadows.
Over there. Tents. This must be the expedition's camp.
They do not look in very good condition. Let's have a closer look.
Signs of combat. They were attacked. By the look of the tents and the campfire, it dates back several days. It seems that they were taken prisoner. I don't see any bodies. No weapon leaves this sort of marking. Perhaps they're wielding magic.
Magic is the miracle of the enlightened. This bears resemblance with the sorcery of the natives.
Not surprising, but not enough to help us locate precisely where the scholars are now.
I agree. This is the consequence of the tragic and disgusting practices of the Bridge. Every native in their territory has revolted. We cannot know which particular clan is guilty.
This looks like scientific equipment. This must be the Lost Expedition's campsite. This looks like the journal of a naturalist. There are sketches of flora and fauna. There is no doubt. We are definitely on the trail of the Lost Expedition. It seems that one of the team kept a distance from the others. Let's see what we can discover. A trail of blood. That cannot be good. Follow it.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle.
More blood. We are on the right path. Keep going. A corpse. The clothes cannot be mistaken. It is a scholar of the Bridge Alliance. From the looks of him, I would say he has been dead for days, as we already thought. This isn't the woman whose journal we found. There is still a chance that she remains alive.
I have heard stories from the natives describing Bridger atrocities. If they are true, this violent attack, though tragic, would be justified.
I'll search the body. We might find something to help us understand. Here is the isolated camp mentioned in the journal. Everything is in order, but the inhabitants are no longer here. Its position would have allowed them to escape the attack.
It's like being in a crow's nest. The view we have over the valley is an ideal observation point.
It is a journal, that of a woman from the expedition, a certain Afra. She speaks of their research and relates here that she felt watched. She feared an attack was brewing. I believe she was right. The writing stops in mid-sentence.
Let's hope she's still alive, as well as her colleagues, or our mission will be a short one.
We must follow the tracks of the attack. They will surely lead us to the party of intrepid scholars.
She may be part of the Alliance, but I can't help feeling bad about what happened to this woman. According to what she wrote, her attackers must have come from the swamp. We should follow their tracks.
Look, those are islanders. They might be from the clan that attacked the Bridger camp. Let's get closer.
Renayse!
We won't let you take us. We will not kneel down without a fight.
Wait. We have no desire to fight you. We only want to find the Lion Sages. They are not warriors, but their chief is ready to send an army of warriors to liberate them. If you help us bring them back, you will save your tribe from a costly battle in lives.
He speaks truly. Look, one of them is already eager to bring lion warriors back to us.
All we wanted was for them to tell us where our brothers are being kept.
What good is this if we must leave our camp behind? Very well. Stay away from the main entrance. Our guards will not welcome your arrival.
Pass around. There is a smaller entrance hidden there. The lions are kept in a home in ruins.
There must be a key somewhere to open the door, but I know not where it is kept.
Here to kill you.
Tell me then, what is your intended purpose?
We were sent to look for you.
Apologies, but allow me to express my doubts.
After this little swim, you could always try to pull the trigger.
Who sent you to find me?
We were not looking for you in particular, but the entire expedition. It was Governor Burham who asked us to find you. He is worried about you. You haven't been reporting.
You should have said that straight away. I must admit, I was hoping for a rescue. Of a different nature. Do you have a name?
Desardet. I'm from the congregation.
The new governor's cousin. Who wears an islander face. I've heard stories about you. And them?
Captain Vasco. Though I realize I am quite far from the sea.
Bishop Petrus, if our young friend hadn't insisted on coming here, I would have gladly let you rot in this marsh.
Behold the charity of the enlightened, huh? This is a rather odd group. I am Afra, a scholar from the Bridge Alliance. It is rather rare to find me rolling in the marshes. I study the fauna and flora of this isle. I should imagine you have many questions.
We saw the site where you were attacked. What exactly happened?
We were taken by surprise. One moment everything was calm, and the next a war party of natives fell upon us. I had an uneasy feeling and kept myself apart, but when I heard my fellow scholars shout, I rushed over. Most of my companions are incapable of defending themselves, and we didn't have guards to protect us. One of them tried to flee, or they brought him down. We decided to give ourselves up to avoid a massacre.
What has happened since the attack? How long have you been in these marshes?
We were taken prisoner and were brought to a village nearby. I was able to escape while the others were taken to a house that they use as a prison. I wanted to join the Bridge Alliance frontier post not far from here, but I wasn't able. So I doubled back to keep watch of the village from a distance. I have been hoping to find a way to free my companions, without any success so far.
Have you made progress in your search for a cure?
We were studying some quite remarkable plants when we were attacked. The region is rife in unknown and novel species. Some seem incredibly promising. The local shamans know all these plants and they use them in their remedies. If only we had been able to converse with them rather than getting ourselves captured.
Could you lead us to the village where your colleagues are being held prisoner?
Certainly. We are, oh, so very close. and I fully intend to participate in this rescue. I'm not one to sit around and twiddle thumbs.
This is where the natives took your colleagues?
Yes, it is here. These ruins are being used as a camp by the native raiders.
There are so many of them. Better to remain discreet.
I have spied on the camp and discovered where my colleagues are being held. They are being kept in the old walls of the main ruin. I fled as they were about to lock my companions inside a cell. We're going to need a key.
Please, Onol-Manawi, let's try to avoid a fight.
I don't have the key.
Afra, is that you?
Come quickly. We don't have much time. Thank you for your help.
Do not thank me yet. We are still in a shipload of danger.
Now, we must find a way to get out of this valley without putting my companions in danger.
Bit of poison on my blade.
Trakarid, mercy. You have defeated us. Spare us our lives.
If you spare them, they will only hunt us down until we are all dead.
No, you have our word. We have been bested. We will let you move on in peace.
How can we trust you? You attacked our camp when we were not even armed.
They are savages. They had us caged like beasts.
We only sought to learn where you have caged our people.
Spare their lives. I beg you. They were only fighting to save the lives of those that have disappeared.
Very well. Leave, and I hope you keep your word.
Thank you, Onol-Manawi. I have spoken, and I will honor my words, Kwa awalamseg.
We are no longer in danger. Thank you for your help, Desade.
I must admit, the reasons for my being here are not entirely selfless. Your research to find a remedy against the Malachor could save many lives in our cities as well.
You speak like a true woman of science. Cut to the point. Then you'll be thrilled. Your heroic efforts to save us from those savages could help. We've made a discovery.
Is that right? In that case, we need to speak with Governor Burham immediately.
Very well. I'll accompany you.
Let's be off.
Lady Desade, and our expedition. I thank you sincerely for having brought them back, Your Excellency. You are a providential woman.
Please, sir. It was you who convinced me and my cousin of the capital importance of their research.
Research that has borne fruit, Your Excellency.
Truly? This is excellent news. You have found a plant with sufficient properties?
Not exactly. Know that during our captivity, an island woman visited the camp. The natives called her Tierna Hac Cadactus and treated her with utmost reverence. I heard them talk about a remedy, a universal remedy it seemed, that she had concocted. How's that? Huh. Well, I grasp the basic of the local tongue, and I am certain to have heard the word yag, remedy. Surprising. But the Tierna Hac is very powerful and very wise. It is possible that she did craft such a remedy.
Echte Heleona, na fravin quadaragames nes lochtom.
Estragmek mal.
Bud veganai. Sagis radei da rodo e diernas hachedachtas. Siodai don e quaig sarir. Bier da leer gan siodiod hair.
Cloisto mal.
Ages radei. Da grimo deridore nadi sassunus edi.
What were they saying, Siora?
The chief regrets the loss of the prisoners of the bridge. She said that the Mistress of Wisdom at the Vikshadir should be informed.
Vikshadir?
It is the village of the Great Hunt. It can be found to the northeast. There should be a path that leads us there close by.
Good day. I'm looking...
What are you doing here? You are in a hidden village, a sacred village. The Renaigse have no place here.
I seek audience with the Mistress of Wisdom, the Tierna Hac Cadactus. Do you know where I can find her?
The Tierna is in her home. She goes, she comes as her heart desires. Only her Voglendaig must know. And if I knew where she was, it's not me who is going to tell her, Renaigse. Go away, leave me alone now. I have much to do. The great hunt is coming.
You spoke about a great hunt. What is it?
A sacred ceremony, of course. How in your countries do you honor your lands and assure their abundance?
Well, it's a bit...
You Renaigse are very strange. It is no wonder that you come to our lands. If you do not honor the land with the great hunt, you must lack game to hunt. Each year, one of our own, our best hunter, dresses up as the Andrig. He becomes the White Andrig during an entire night and the others hunt him. If he escapes them, the game will be abundant and the gathering fruitful during the entire year. It is a very important celebration.
Please now. I wish her no harm. I just need to speak with her.
You speak well and say pretty things, but it is by your doings that you will be judged.
Then, in that case, tell me what I can do.
There is much to be done in this season. And Pedir, the great gatherer, has not returned from the woods.
Very well. Would you like me to go and get him?
That would be good.
Bortir to Madre Naixi.
Good day. I seek the Mistress of Wisdom, the Tierna Hac Cadactus.
I have no idea what you want with her, but no one in the village will tell Renaigse where to find her.
I do not seek to harm her, only to speak with her.
I don't know where she is. Her Voglendaig might know, but I think he will tell you nothing. You are in one of the most sacred villages of our lands. The Renaigse are not welcome here, and we are busy making ready for the great hunt.
Maybe I could help you with something.
Help us?
Why not, after all? It would speak well of your intentions. During the Great Hunt, we place bells on the path to keep the animals away. During the last hunt, there was a great storm, and the bells were badly damaged.
Would you like me to repair them?
That would be good. If not, we need to make new ones, and I am afraid we will not have the time.
Good day. My name is Desade. Would you be the Voglendijk of the Mistress of Wisdom?
Bir tirtamad, Renaxe. Yes, I am among us. What are you doing here in this sacred village?
Do you know where I might find the Mistress of Wisdom?
The Tierna Hach Kadaktas? I regret she is not here.
Do you know where she might be found?
I am sorry, but I will not tell a Renaxe stranger to us. Your kind has many who bend the truth to their desires. Some of them tried to capture her. You need to prove to us that we can trust you.
Tell me what I can do.
You could help me find the secret seal that I lost. This would prove a little. It is a sacred stone that my mistress asked me to study and meditate with. I had it with me when I was going to the river, but I was suddenly attacked. Of course, the animals left me alone in the end. But I dropped the seal in my flight. I would gladly go and look for it, but I am alone in the village, waiting for the Tierna Hakadaktas. And what with the preparations and the great hunt, I cannot leave at this time.
I see. I'm going to look near the river and see if I can find it.
Thank you, Renaxe.
Can you help us remember where you lost the seal you were looking for?
On the edge of the village, near the river. That is where I dropped it when the wild animals came and chased me away.
Thank you. I'm going to see if I can find it. I must leave.
You are here again.
I found Padir. He should be along shortly.
Whatever made him take so long? He is not a man to be bothered by the beasts.
That poor Padir fell asleep under a tree. Age, I suppose. It seems like it would be the right time for him to take on an apprentice. Someone to help him on his walks.
You are completely right. It would be a shame that such great wisdom be lost.
I thank you, Renaxe. Your acts are as beautiful as your words. You are welcome here, and I hope you find the Tierna Hakadaktas.
Well now, Renaxe. Were you able to repair our bells for the hunt?
Yes. They are all working now.
You are very surprising. But I should have known that as an Onolmanawi, you would be different than the others. I now believe your words to be true when you say you desire no harm to our Tierna. You need to find her Voglendijk. I will tell him that your intentions are heartfelt.
Ongos?
What do you want, Renaxe?
I found your seal. It was indeed near the river.
My heart thanks you. You are a Renaxe like no other. The Tierna Hakadaktas would have been angry if I had lost it. The Tierna Hakadaktas went into the sacred bosque. She goes often there to meditate.
And where could I find this bosque?
To the west of the village, into the heart of the woods. There is a passage between the rocks that gives access. Be wary. This is an untamed place, where the animals are wild and numerous.
I must leave.
You are not welcome here tonight, sir.
I regret troubling your rest. My name is de Sardet. I'm a legate of the Congregation of Merchants.
Mev, daughter of Morrigan, daughter of Cardwin. What is a legate? And what could she want from me?
I am an emissary, a representative of my nation. I have come to speak to you about a cure.
Of what cure do you speak? You do not show signs of sickness.
I am not. But on our continent, many people are dying from a terrible plague. We have named the sickness the Malachor, and none of our doctors have been able to heal anyone taken ill. We have heard talk from some of your people of a cure that is so powerful that it can heal almost anything. You would be...
You must share with us the formula. Too many lives are at stake.
You come here to my home, and you command me to help you. Arrogance. Renoixe.
Please forgive us. I beg your pardon. We have seen so many people die of this affliction.
Tierna hach kadachtas. I ask you to forgive these foreigners. They do not know our customs, but their intentions are peaceful. They seek a remedy to heal their people with conviction.
And what is a Donegad of our people doing with these invaders? What do you seek in their company?
Understanding, Tierna, and to learn for the good of our people.
You truly think there is anything the Renaixe could teach of any value? They come here to rape our lands, as did those who came before them long ago.
This miraculous cure that we heard talk of, could you share the formula with us?
You are either completely crazed or foul liars. None of this makes sense.
But
Enough! I have lost enough time with your lies and your foolish thoughts. I do not know what you truly want from me, but I will not be used like some puppet.
She passed through here, there's no doubt of it. But how was she able to get past these roots? This stone stele has something to do with the entry of the grotto. But how? Do you have any ideas?
These roots protect a sacred passage that the Donegada wants not just anyone to take. You are correct to believe the stele is bound to the entrance. You need to make an offering. In general, you place a seed of a particular plant chosen by the Donegad that sealed the grotto.
How to know which seed to place? And where would we find one?
The easiest way is to ask someone who has already passed through the passage. There is a good chance that the Voglendijk has already taken it with his mistress and could help us.
Thank you, Siora. Your wisdom has been a great help to us.
Were you able to meet the Tierna Hach Kadaktas?
Yes, but to my grave disappointment, she fled before I could expose my arguments.
Yes, many strangers have tried to capture her many times. She must have decided you were one of them.
I am once again in need of your assistance. I must take the passage blocked by a door of roots.
You had the honor of speaking with my mistress. If she chose to follow the sacred passage, then it is that she had nothing more to say to you. Why would I share with you the understanding of the ritual that protects her?
I promise that I mean her no harm. I just need to expose as best I can the problem at hand. Her help is truly necessary. Thousands of lives are at stake.
Tell me more.
My people have fallen prey to a serious illness, which has almost certainly taken my own mother by now. If we do not quickly find a remedy, we shall all follow her to the grave. But the Tierna Hakadaktis can help us. We are sure of that. She will know of a remedy able to heal this sickness that plagues us.
Your quest seems noble and with great respect for the life of all. You must feed the offering ward to enter into the passage and meet her once again.
I need to place a seed on the stone stele, don't I?
Yes, you must make this offering. I cannot tell you from which plant it is given, but there is a chance there are more in her dwelling. I will let you enter this one time, but treat her dwelling with respect, I ask.
Thank you for your help.
Do not be so eager to thank me. The place you enter is ripe with dangers. As do all sacred places, it defends itself with the wild beasts that it fosters. This passage leads to a forest where the ancestors of the Tierna Hak Kadaktas makes her home.
And why should I fear the ancestor?
Have stories of the Nadaig been shared with you? In your language, you would call them guardians.
Yes, I even encountered one. She was magnificent.
Then you know of what I speak.
I must leave. This plant looks familiar. I saw some not far from here. Unfortunately, it has lost its seeds.
I've already come across this flower. It is very rare, even for such an island as Tirfredi.
This bark is covered with little symbols. It looks like some sort of writing, though I've been led to believe the natives have no written language.
The Donegada use these symbols amongst themselves, and only they understand their meaning. It is a secret and sacred language. I cannot reveal to you what the bark contains without breaking my bond.
Can you at least tell me if they speak of a passage? A seed?
No. I would have told you.
All of this is extremely interesting, but alas, it won't help me open the root passage. All these crushed plants and these powders. She must have been preparing a potion. It might be the miraculous remedy. To be so close and yet to have no idea what to do with all this.
With more time, I could study all of these components and perhaps...
I doubt that Ongos will give us a chance to study this. We need to find the Tierna Hak. All of this is extremely interesting, but alas, it won't help me open the root passage. This looks like a collection of skulls from various animals. I wonder what purpose they serve.
These skulls symbolize the animals. Through some rituals, we greet them. We thank them for feeding and dressing us, so that the next hunting season, they will once again give us the weak amongst their herds.
I don't see any seeds here. The only clue we have is this plant. Let's try to find some other flowers. It might be their seed that opens the passage. All these flowers. Perhaps this is where the Tierna Hak Kadaktas. These flowers are similar to those we found in the dwelling of the Tierna Hak, and they bear seeds.
Those are the offering seeds we need to open the root passage. We should go try them.
A seed to part the roots. I'll admit that it is poetic, but completely defies all logic.
We have what we need. Let's go back to the stone stele. There.
What an amazing place. I'd love to have enough time to explore it. I might discover some secrets of the natives' exceptional knowledge.
Be respectful. We are in a sacred passage, which is for initiation and meditation.
I hope that she did not hide in this forest. Finding her here would be quite troublesome.
It is an ancient and holy forest. A powerful place. There must be a Nadai here. We should be careful.
We didn't want this fight! Why? Why?
In order to capture and extract from her what we need. To examine her. Dissect her, if necessary. You have done us a great service, guiding us directly to her.
Are you saying that...
Even if the creature has concocted some remedial potion, it is not the song we came for, but the bird. She leads the sorcerers of this island. She knows how they transform, and from where their powers originate. Our scientists think that the remedy is there, in their pseudo-magic, and in their mutation. Thank you for bringing her to us, and ridding us of the monster.
Do you think I'm going to allow you to manipulate me?
I don't think anything. Apologies, Excellency. But you are going to die tragically from a stray bullet intended for the monster.
Mercy, Your Excellency, I surrender.
You are obviously nothing more than a henchman. It is your governor that is going to have some explaining to do. Off with you, and make sure our paths never cross again.
Thank you, Excellency. You will never see me again.
Tiana Hack? She is unconscious. We need to bring her back to her village. She needs to be tended to. We should leave right away. Is she going to survive?
Yes, she will heal. They were not shooting to kill her. And we are resistant, you know. The bond empowers us. It gives us the vigor of animals, the resilience of trees. It's undoubtedly for that reason that your alliance is so interested in us. She does not mean to harm you. Please, let me...
What do you want from me, Ranaikse?
We were manipulated by the Alliance. We had no idea that they sought to capture you. We believed their fable of a miraculous remedy. The man that shot you is in no condition to come back and bother you, and their governor will have explaining to do.
I suppose I should thank you for having pulled me from their claws and bringing me here. Even I would have preferred knowing the men dead. There is indeed a remedy. But I doubt that I can do anything against this sickness that you describe. I don't know it. And I don't see how I could create a remedy that would heal it.
Perhaps you could try? We are desperate.
This remedy was prepared for a precise purpose. To heal those who escaped the claws of the Alliance. These monsters capture the Sinol Menoi and torture them, bleed them, put things in their veins. Those that do escape are in such agony that our care and comfort are not enough to mend them. That's why I made this remedy. Not for your Malikor. My people have never fallen prey to such sickness.
How can you be so sure? Perhaps it's your tremendous resistance that protects you from the sickness.
Perhaps. Enon Mil Frictimen protects us all.
Enon Mil Frictimen?
God of 1,000 faces in your tongue. The one and many who protects us and our island. They and we are tied and bound, as they are tied and bound to you. Their generosity to our people is infinite, but the crimes of the Renaikse enrage it. After all, perhaps your Malikor is their vengeance.
This is strange. The two tracks that we followed have led us to the same name, Enon Mil Frictimen.
The god of 1,000 faces. But I don't believe he is the origin of your sickness. He protects us. He watches over us.
That's right. We know that the congregation came to this island long ago. A lot longer than we first thought. The Malikor could be a consequence of that first attempt to colonize. A curse cast at that epoch, brought back by the first defeated colonists. After all, are they not the reason the first guardians of the native legends appeared? Whatever, one thing is certain. If there is something or someone on this island powerful enough to heal the Malikor, it is certainly him. We need to bring this news back to Constantine. Even if we don't have a remedy as of yet, he will be happy to know that we have made progress.
My fair cousin! Come closer and tell me what brings you...
Allow me to present Afra, an emissary of the Bridge Alliance. She is an eminent naturalist who studies local flora, in an effort to find a remedy.
Your Excellency, it is a great honor.
You were part of Governor Buren's lost expedition, if I've understood correctly, were you not?
Yes, and our research would have borne fruit if it hadn't been so brutally interrupted.
I can only imagine. Nevertheless, you are most welcome. Your great learning will certainly prove useful. I implore you, my fair cousin. Do continue. We are eager to hear your news.
I wanted to inform you of our progress in the attempt to discover a cure. As you advised me, I followed the leads shared by our allies, none of which led anywhere. However, they pointed in the same direction, towards a sort of god that the natives worship. They call him Enon Mil Frictimen, the god of many faces. He is very powerful and protects the island.
How can you be sure that it's not some sort of myth? Even a superstition?
I saw it take shape with my own eyes, during a ritual. It is possible that the Malikor is the expression of its vengeance.
You are referring to the secret we unearthed. The entire continent is paying today for the errors of our grandparents. It is a terrifying perspective.
But if it were true, he must also be able to help us heal.
Princess, could you shed some light on this being? Is it possible to meet him?
All the Donaigada know him. He is the strength, the spirit of Tirfredi. You were looking for a demon or a remedy from plants, so I did not think of him. But yes, he is very powerful and as old as our world.
He could surely heal your sickness. But it is not simple to meet him. Impossible, I would think. Though it is not my place to judge, you need to earn the trust of Glendan, the Elder of the Council. Ask him for his help. He lives in the village of Dorchad Genadu. It is in the heart of our island, at the entrance to our most sacred lands.
Thank you for your help, Princess. I will not forget the numerous services you have provided for us. And thank you, fair cousin, for everything.
Desade, I'd like to discuss something with you.
I'm listening.
My colleagues are only interested in the physiology of the islanders and consider everything else to be superstitions. However, if we want to understand how they are transforming, we need to take a look at their culture. The potions they drink, the dyes they use are surely the source of their physical changes.
Why not talk about it with Siora? It seems to me that she would be the best one to help you.
Siora is very suspicious of me. She will never betray the secrets of the Donegada. But I was told about a place of ritual called Kurganau, decorated with carvings and offerings. By studying them, I hope to better understand what is possibly the greatest mystery of this century. But they call it a dangerous place and I cannot go alone. Will you accompany me?
Very well. Understanding these transformations will surely be useful.
Thank you, Desade. I knew I could count on you. Let's go.
We must help these young people. Hold on! Help is on its way! You were lucky. Without our presence here.
Yes. Blessed be the earth that has brought you to us at this time.
Yuan, I was touched. I am hurt.
Oh no! Morian!
These creatures are venomous. If their venom has come into contact with her blood, this young woman does not have long.
And we are too far from the village to seek help. How are we going to save her?
I know a potion that will erase the effects of the venom.
I have a vial of it in my bag. Hold on.
Thank you. Truly the best winds have brought you to us.
Here, drink this.
Don't worry. It'll heal you.
Morian, what do you feel?
I feel the pain leaving me.
She is saved. You have great wisdom. May the trees always bear fruits on your journey. You have saved Morian.
It was nothing. I'm glad I could help you.
You are different from other Renaigse. You know the potions. But what were you looking for here?
We came to study this place, the carvings in particular.
This is one of our places of ritual. A place of connection. What do you hope to learn from our carvings?
I seek to understand the mechanisms of your transformations. I think these carvings could help with this.
You seek the secrets of the Donegada. You should speak with Armal.
Yes, his name is Dunkas. He is also our Donegad, and his wisdom is boundless.
Here is someone who should be able to answer all your questions, Afra.
Let us go then. We will have time to discuss on the way.
I have so many questions about this place, about the rituals that take place here.
Bertir Tuma Tonkas. These Renaigse saved my life.
What happened?
We were meditating at the sacred circle in Kurganau, and we were attacked. Morian was poisoned, and they gave her a potion.
Really? We are not yet used to the Renaigse doing something without expecting something in return. You should go and meditate now. I have to talk to them.
They are different from the others. Oh, I'm sure of it.
I hear your gratitude, Morian. It honors you. Now go. Leave us.
My name is Desardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Dunkas, the Marl of the Yigidor, and also his Donegad. Your face markings designate you as one of ours, yet you are a Lugaid Blau. A clan that rarely shows generosity, yet you saved Morian. I thank you for this.
Please, we couldn't let her die without doing anything.
This feeling brings you honor. But what were you doing near our sacred circle in Kergenau?
It was me who led my friends there. I was hoping to study the circle to better understand your culture.
Loyans always want the same thing. They covet our secrets to better steal our land, to better hurt our children.
Calm now. Perhaps this lioness is different from the others. Maybe we were wrong about them too.
I'm not trying to conquer your island, let alone hurt anyone. I just want to know.
A noble quest that could perhaps bring peace, but to which I cannot answer alone. I cannot reveal such secrets without seeking advice from the Order Donegada. But in order to thank you for saving one of our daughters, stay with us tonight. Eat and celebrate life. Maybe by sharing this joyous moment, you will learn something.
We accept your invitation. Isn't that right, Desardet?
Of course. Thank you for welcoming us, Dunkas.
I'm sorry. You look disappointed.
I did not expect your Donegad to reveal all its secrets to us, but I would have loved to learn more.
Perhaps you should be patient. It takes years to understand the mysteries of the Donegada. And since you are staying with us tonight, it will be an opportunity to continue learning.
That's what I hope.
Thank you for welcoming us tonight. We had a good time.
Yes. It was very enlightening.
We are glad that you stayed with us. We too have learned from you.
Your face brims with thoughts, Afra. Is something wrong?
It's nothing. Probably just tiredness.
We should all rest. It has been a long day. May your dreams be wonderful.
Good night.
May the moon watch over your dreams.
Is something wrong?
Dunkas wasn't here tonight, yet he's the one who invited us to stay. I also saw one of the elders sneaking out of the village.
You think they're hiding something from us?
I don't know. But since they don't want to share their knowledge with us, let's try to follow them.
I hope you know what you're doing. We shouldn't get angry with Dunkas.
If we remain unseen, everything will be fine. Let's go before we lose their trail.
Why are you here?
We're sorry. We didn't mean to interrupt your conversation.
We need answers, so we followed your elders.
Well, since you absolutely want to learn, do as the apprentices do. Take a seat and be quiet. We are here to meditate, to hear the voice of the earth, because the wind has changed.
Close doors, Arwechnis Diri. You were right. Johan is ready. Morian's trial has made her more sensitive.
She is his Minundanem, and he is hers. One cannot progress without the other. She will have to bring him to the Cave of Knowledge. This will be his last trial before creating the bond.
May their path be gentle and shielded. As for me, I hear the call ever louder, Dunkas.
And the day the call is loud enough, you will respond just like each of us. But it's not yet time for you to join in on Milfritemen. So, Afra, Are you satisfied with what you saw?
It was informative, although it's not what I expected. Thank you, Dunkus. This meeting was strange. It almost seemed like they really heard voices in the wind.
Maybe it's true.
Some believe so strongly that they end up hearing or seeing what they hope for.
Have you learned what you wanted to?
What they said about these young people we helped out, about the fact they were ready to bind themselves. We have a unique opportunity of seeing a transformation with our very own eyes.
But we can't follow them wherever they go.
No, of course not. I must think on it. Come back and talk to me later. Desade, I'm happy to see you. I can't wait to find this famous cave of knowledge and what it contains. I could probably go alone, but just think about what you could learn, and not only about yourself. Don't you want to understand where your face markings come from?
You were right, Afra. I will accompany you.
Thank you, Desade. Let's return to Dunkus's village. Our new friends will surely be able to tell us more about this cave.
We are happy to see you again. You will always be welcomed as friends here.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you too. But we came to ask you something.
Of course. What do you want?
When we participated in the Dunkus meditation, he spoke of a cave of knowledge you had to go to.
And you want to see it? You still wish to learn how we become bound? It is a very sacred place. Only those who will become Donegada may enter there.
That's right, Year One. But they saved my life.
If someone finds out that we have helped the Renaigse to enter a sacred place, they will refuse to bind me.
Dunkus will never do such a thing. What needs to be done will happen, no matter what.
You're probably right.
Look for the entrance in the Vethat Ganadu. Entering there will not be easy, but you will have to discover the rest by yourself, like true apprentices.
Thank you, Morian. And fear not. No one will ever learn what you have entrusted us with. At last, we made it here.
How do we get in?
Look around. There has to be a way.
This stone and this door remind me of the place where the Tiana Hakkadactors went into hiding.
You're right. We'll probably have to use a seed here as well.
But we don't know which. The character has changed. He now resembles an Onol Manawi.
You're right. They even depict his bond to the forest.
It seems like this painting depicts some kind of ritual.
Yes. The character at the center is pouring blood on a stone. And one of these giant creatures that the natives call Nardigs is present.
The location looks like the stone circle where we met the two young natives.
Someone's coming. Let's hide. If anyone finds us here, we're sure to lose the trust of the islanders. Where are you going? We must leave before they discover our presence. Someone's coming. Let's hide. If anyone finds us here, we're sure to lose the trust of the islanders.
Esco halen, esco valg med agengo selerge mantadabem, avenundanum.
Mach, es boglen daigan ni dau. A yigi dames etier como lei.
Cair to, Morian, ages radai de radi dauem tairger began.
Cau den nes greta como lei. Nas oltargotu, vrektetet mad advad. Abud antadab me en ekekam. No adaholeg.
The paintings in the cave were magnificent and have taught us so much. It is obvious that they depict the bonding ritual and its consequences. It is by pouring their blood on the raised stones that the natives become metamorphs.
I'm not really sure if I follow you.
And yet it's clear to see. The islanders think that their ritual has magic consequences, but there must be some sort of contamination in their blood as they pour it. The only way to verify this theory is to attend a full ritual. We must attend Yewan's.
How will we know when it takes place?
Dunkas said it would take place after the young people visited the cave, and they will most likely need some preparation. We should go to the Holy Circle of Kurganau tomorrow. What do you say? Will you come with me?
I hope that Dunkas will not be too angry after seeing us there.
Let's take some time to rest, and then we'll go back to the place where we met them.
You again. Your curiosity is truly unquenchable.
Forgive our intrusion, Dunkas. But I really want to attend Yewan's ritual. I have learned a lot thanks to you, but I still have so much left to understand.
If you were one of ours, Afra, I would be flattered to have such an inquisitive and resolute apprentice. You can attend the ritual, but promise me that you will be discreet. No Renaigse ever had this honor before.
We will do everything in our power to prove ourselves worthy of your trust, Dunkas. How are you? You must be feeling impatient.
Impatient, yes, and a little bit afraid as well.
It's only natural to be afraid, Yerwan. It's a new life starting for you. But I will be by your side, now and forever.
Times really must have changed for some Renaigse to attend our rituals.
These are very different from the others. Their leader is an Onol Menawi after all.
I know I look like them, but I'm not one of them.
You may not be bonded, but your parents must have been.
You should be proud and happy about it. It is probably thanks to your bond that Dunkas has accepted your presence.
You look preoccupied.
Our people have suffered many lions attacks, often during rituals. In some villages, all the young Sinal Manawi were abducted. You seem different from the other Zafra, but I can't help worrying.
I have nothing to do with these attacks, Dunkas, I swear.
I believe you. Otherwise, you would not be here with us. But I hope that your brothers will not be there in the shadows, ready to pounce on our children.
Aruich neistiri, adesta marar mam.
Meneda, You are an Onolmanawi now, Yawan. And soon you will heal the earth by our sides. Like a real Donegard.
Thank you, Dunkas. I feel so proud.
I am so happy that we can be Voglendaiga together at last.
What about you, Afra? Did you find the answers you were looking for?
It's strange. I didn't exactly understand what happened, but I am moved.
Some events must be understood with the heart, not the head.
It seems like you are right, Dunkas.
We are under attack.
Grab the young metamorph. The others.
The lions.
I won't let them kill you, Mariam.
They won't touch you. Desade, we have to protect them.
You can count on me.
Let's see if you can ward off the fate.
Your curiosity, Afra, has saved lives. If it weren't for you, people from my village would have been abducted or killed. I am infinitely grateful, especially considering that fighting against your brothers could not have been easy.
Indeed. These people were brutes. They had it coming. However, you don't know how right you are, Dunkas. I recognize some of these men.
Really? Did they belong to the governor's court?
No. They worked for my former master, Dr. Asili. I was his student for a long time before I realized that this man's methods were questionable. He was so obsessed with his goals that he became cruel. But I can't believe he'd go as far as abducting people for his experiments.
You think that the Onol Manawi are used for experiments?
Now that I have seen these soldiers, I am certain of it. And I'm afraid they may suffer atrocious treatment under the guise of scientific progress. I am so ashamed.
Come now, shame serves no purpose. And you are proof that the lions are not all the same.
Thank you, Dunkas. And thank you, Desade. You opened my eyes.